Hey there, I'm the Stock Boy and thanks for tuning in. This video will show you the top 10 fastest quarter mile times in GTA Online. No special vehicles, no open wheelers, just the best raceable cars in the game. Drag racing as it should be, and none of those weird rocket powered broomsticks. These times are both accurate and reproducible, and you'll be able to find more information on this method at the end of the video, but for now, let's jump right into our top 10 quarter mile vehicles. And we'll start with the 10th fastest car in GTA Online. This is the Grotti Italia GTO, based on the Ferrari 812 Superfast. It's a really good car in the game, and it's one of the few sports class cars that you can win races with. If you don't already know about it, the Italia GTO is a really good all-rounder in this game. It's got a really good top speed, it does very well on the track, and as you'll see here, it's also a really good quarter mile car. It beats out quite a few supercars with its time here at the Puerto Dragway with a 10.64 second quarter mile. And let's take a look at the 9th car on this list. The 9th fastest quarter mile in GTA Online belongs to the Progen Emerus. This car is modeled after the McLaren Senna, and for those that don't know, the McLaren Senna in real life is a really impressive hypercar. I've got mine painted in that iconic McLaren Papaya orange, and I love this car on a circuit. My opinion is that it's the best supercar to race. It takes a bit to get used to the handling, but the extra rotation is really nice when you're going into some of the corners. In the quarter mile too, it is pretty quick. It's 9th, that's great. I was hoping it would be faster, just considering what it's based on. The real life version of the car does the quarter mile in 9.87. This one ties our last car at 10.64. but I give it the tiebreaker because it's faster to the half mile. Moving on to number 8, we have another sports class car beating out the supers. This is the Grotti Italia RSX. It's the younger brother of the GTO, which was first on our list, and this is an awesome car. I actually consider it to be one of the must-haves in the game. As you can see here, it is a little faster than the GTO, and it's really good on a circuit and in every situation, honestly. It'll cross the line in 10.567 seconds. And it looks like supercars might be making a comeback. Here's hoping, huh? This is the Principe Deveste Eight, and it is based on the Devil 16 in real life. It's a really good car in the game. It's crazy heavy, which doesn't affect its performance, but it means that people can't push you around in races, which is nice. It's also the 7th fastest car, which is great. Being based on the Devil 16, I would like it to be higher than some of the cars after it, but it will cross the line in 10.523 seconds. Up at number 6, we have the Nagasaki Shotaro. It's the first bike on our list, and it's a little funky, but it is based on the Lotus CO1, which is actually pretty cool. I have this bike for the purpose of making videos, but other than that, it is really, really expensive, and I don't think it's worth it compared to some other bikes out there. If you do deadline, that's great, go ahead and buy it, but otherwise I'd save your money and go for something that's a little bit later on the list. The Shotaro, though, is going to cross the line in 6th at 10.490 seconds. Moving into our top 5 and our 5th fastest quarter mile car. It just doesn't seem like it would be right to have a top cars list in GTA Online without the Ocelot Pariah in it. This car is really good at just about everything. It's been in the game for a long time, so it kind of bugs me that it's still so good after so long. But quarter mile, half mile, standing mile, top speed, circuit, it doesn't really matter. The car can still hang with some of the best cars in the game. It's a sports class car, which means that we're pushing our supercars further and further down the list. But you really cannot deny how fantastic the Pariah really is. And on a quarter mile, it'll cross the line in 10.369 seconds. Here we are at number 4, and I'm just going to go ahead and label this as the biggest quarter mile disappointment in the game. The Hakuchou Drag, it's got drag in the name, it's got the extended swing arm, it's got everything that it should have to just be blazing quick. And really, number 4 is great, but even when you consider these cars that are above it, this bike should just be so much faster than it is. So, great bike. If you don't have it and you've got the money, you should probably get it. It's definitely the best bike in the motorcycles class in just about every category, if not every category. But it can't even reach 9 seconds. It's our last 10-second vehicle on this list at 10.139. Now, can you guess what we have at number 3? It's kind of an unusual one, but if you know anything about electric vehicles, you know about the instant torque, you know these things are pretty quick, and the first 9-second car that we have on our list here is the Coil Raiden, based off of a Tesla. Now, I'm not the biggest electric car fan in the world, but I do give them credit for being quick. This thing is no different. Rockstar did a great job with this car, in my opinion, making it exactly how it should be. It doesn't handle great, but when it comes to pure acceleration, this thing just goes, and in the quarter mile especially, this thing really shines. It's in the 3 spot, just barely missing out on number 2 with a 9.985 quarter mile. So I just finished telling you about how I'm not a huge electric car fan, but I've got to be honest, this is one of my favorite cars in the game. It's the Pfister Neon, and it's number 2. This thing, similar to the Raiden, it's so fast in a straight line, and it is a lot of fun to drive. If you make your straightaways long on the circuit, it can be pretty quick. You're probably not going to win any sports class races in it, but it can be pretty quick, and it is fun. It looks great too. I mean, this is another car that I think Rockstar really nailed. They really nailed electric cars, and they really nailed cars modeled after Dodge. I think they've got some Mopar fans on board, but at any rate, this thing is really fast. It's a neat little car, and it's got 4 doors if you want to carry some buddies around with you. And as a massive bonus, it'll get you to a quarter mile in 9.891 seconds. And to our number 1, and if you own one of these, you probably aren't surprised. The Coil Cyclone is crazy quick in a straight line. You're not going to win any supercar races in it, but it is a lot of fun just to get that pure acceleration. And it's also a full electric supercar, which means our entire top 3 is filled with electric cars. And the Pegassi Tesseract doesn't even make this list, which is a bit surprising. But it's time to head to the track and see how fast the Cyclone really is on a quarter mile. It's pretty wild how fast this car is at the quarter mile, and when you're driving something that's this quick, you notice it, and that's no different in the game. That's why I mentioned that people who have this car probably won't be surprised by this result. It just flies off the line, and all the way through the quarter mile it accelerates really quickly. It doesn't do much after that. It kind of falls off, and it has a really low top speed, so not one of the best cars in the game to buy unless you're just looking at something for pure acceleration. But the Cyclone will pass the line in 9.651 seconds. Now, I just have to go on a quick rant about the Hakuchou Drag. It's based on a Hayabusa, which stock does a 9.7 second quarter mile. I don't know what Rockstar was thinking. That thing handles way too well for something with an extended swing arm, and there's no way it should be slower than the Cyclone. And looking at this list and how many sports cars are on it, it's kind of wild that supercars aren't quicker as far as acceleration goes. But I want to know what you think about this list. Is there something you think should be higher, lower? Maybe there's something that's missing entirely? Let me know what you think in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out stockboygaming.com for a database full of information on quarter mile times for all cars in the game. So after editing this video, I've decided to implement an official Stockboy drinking game. Grab your favorite age-appropriate beverage, and every time I say "but" like 30,000 times, take a sip, enjoy it, let's all have a good time.